transitioning our wardrobe from summer to fall. Here are 6 handbags you can use in between seasons. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Celesta. We talk about all things luxury shopping and handbags. If you love those things, make sure to subscribe, hit that bell notification to post videos twice a week. So it's really interesting making fall content right now, especially in this time of year, because I feel like being in California, this is really the time we get summer. Scorching hot, 85, 95 degree weather, probably between mid to end of August up until early November. I feel like we're still getting summer. And then as soon as maybe Veterans Day, like mid-November, something switches. That's when we suddenly get fall, and we don't really get winter. So like it's pretty much fall, rains a little bit January, February, and then it's spring again. And so I feel like because we don't really get fall, I feel like for me, it's more important to have fall transitional bags because we don't really get fall. This period where it's supposed to be fall, but the weather is like telling you like, hey, you don't need to wear a sweater and leggings because it's still 80 degrees. It's important for like accessories specifically because even if you're wearing the same outfit, you can accessorize it with, your shoes and your bags that make it look a little bit more summer, or you can make it a little bit more fall. Like I'm wearing the same midi dress in both of these pictures. One has the pink Kelly, which looks a little bit more spring, summer. And then if I'm wearing with my Freja bag, it looks a little bit more fall. Anyways, here are the 6 styles you might want to consider getting. And then I'll be mentioning 3 styles you probably shouldn't get yet, or just like wait until next year to get it. But starting with the Demalia Midi New York / any tan color bag, I think this is a really good color brown because sometimes if you're doing like an espresso brown or like the dark brown color, while I do love that color for fall, it feels more seasonal than let's say a tan color like this. This you can wear in the summer. I've worn this with linen. I've worn this like all white linen outfit. I've also worn this with a trench coat and black. And so it just looks a little bit more versatile compared to like a dark brown bag. It feels more fall than transitional. I think people are really iffy about wearing white after Labor Day. At least that's what they said in Gossip Girl. Because I live in California and because it's like warm up until November, I feel like I tend to wear white. But if you feel like where you are, it's starting to cool down, I honestly think like the Picotin is such a great option, even though it is white or like a cream color. It's still slouchy. I feel like because it's slouchy and casual, it doesn't feel too out of place. Like I think you can wear this with like a black mini skirt, white top, and like a little trench coat, which feels very fall, and then have the white bag as well. It's not super structured, just a very casual, cute vibe that again you can wear with a summer dress, whatever, but also transition it into fall. The next bag / bags we have are suede bags, but not your typical brown suede bags because I feel like those are very much fall coated. I was scrolling through Savette and I think they have some beautiful colored suede bags. You guys know I've been eyeing the Savette Symmetry pochette for such a long time, and they recently came out with their fall colors. They have this beautiful bright emerald green color in suede. They have like a light blue suede option as well. Over the summer they did like a coral suede color. So I feel like these kind of colors, even though they are brighter but the suede material gives it a little bit more of that like comfy, cozy, relaxed look that you kind of are leaning into for fall. So I think these would be really good transitional pieces as well, especially if you want something that you can kind of dress up with your summer outfits or kind of that like in between. Like I feel like this is kind of an in between right now, and then also be able to wear it in the fall. The next one we have to talk about obviously is the Anthropologie Espresso Martini bag. This is currently on pre-order, and I also had to get mine during pre-order, and I feel like if I were you, I would get it now while it's still available for pre-order, because by the time it comes, it's probably like mid-September, and then that's like peak time to use this bag. Anyways, this is the perfect transitional bag because you can use this in the summer. But in the summer, I think this is more of a going out bag. So let's say you're going to a cutesy little cocktail bar, a wine bar. This is perfect. She is the moment. She's a conversation starter, whatever. However, I think you can very easily wear this with all of your fall outfits as well, kind of like a brown monochrome outfits, mini skirts, so cute. I think this is probably one of the best ones that is very like transitional, because Anthropologie does do some bags that feel very summer. So they had like a lemon one a couple months ago. So I feel like that's a little bit harder to kind of transition from summer to fall. However, if you get styles like this where it still feels unique, but it doesn't feel specific to a season, I think that is going to be a little bit more versatile for you. The next bag you're going to want to consider adding to your collection is a dark red bag. And I know some people stand by having like the 3 color bags you need are black, white, and red. I have never really been a red bag girly because I am a pretty much neutrals and pastel girly. And so I really was like, oh, I don't really need a red bag, you know, whatever. But I feel like this is such a versatile bag. This is the Verified shoulder bag. It is in this like dark red, cherry red patent leather bag. And it is absolutely stunning. It looks luxurious. It kind of has this like quiet luxury vintagey look and feel to it, which I do really love. And I feel like because of the color, again, this is gonna be a bag that you can wear summers, going out, at night, cocktail bar, dinner, that kind of vibe. But then you could also use this in the fall during the day with your little blazer coat, trench coat, sweater. Like both would look so, so, so cute. And then the last thing you're gonna wanna add to your collection is animal print, but not all animal print. I feel like there's 2 animal prints right now that I could definitely see transitioning from like summer to fall. I think one is zebra, which I know zebra kind of goes in and out of style, but I feel like this would be a really good one because it's black and white, you know? Like how difficult is it to mess up? Demelier recently came out with a new bag called the Miami, and they have it in this leopard print. It doesn't feel too leopardy, like it feels a little bit more low-key leopardy. I think this is such a good like transitional fall bag, maybe a little bit more fall than transitional, but this has the slouchy look you're looking for. It has the patterns, it's a little bit more of a statement. It's definitely not something that you see every day, and I think this is such a unique add to your collection. However, we also have to talk about 3 styles that you probably should wait to buy. I don't think you're gonna get much use out of it for the rest of this year, and honestly, I think you should just wait until next year to see if you really want it or if it's still trending, because you know how quickly trends move. I'm very easily influenced by trends, and so I don't want to get something end of a season thinking, oh my god, I'm gonna love it, it's gonna be great, and then by next year I don't want it anymore. I haven't even used it because it was fall, winter, you know, whatever. I didn't even get a chance to use it, and the next thing you know, I don't want it anymore because it's like out of date. So a couple styles I would recommend avoiding. First one being raffia. I know this is like, it's hard to resist, but I just don't think you need to add a raffia bag to your collection right now. We're heading into fall. You're probably not spending that much time at the beach after Labor Day, and so you really don't need a raffia bag. Another bag I would avoid are pastels, which is hard for me. I know, but I would avoid the light blues, the butter yellows, light pinks, which might contradict a little bit because I do tend to get some pink bags around Cruise Collection for Chanel. But I think in general, unless I feel like personally pink is a neutral, but I think any other color, I just don't think you're gonna get a lot of use out of a butter yellow bag or a light green bag or a light blue bag right now, as we're kind of transitioning our wardrobe into fall. And I think typically with a bunch of retailers and our normal shopping habits, you're gonna start buying more fall clothes. It's gonna be darker colors, browns, tans, blacks, animal print, like that kind of vibe. And it's just not gonna match a butter yellow bag. And then the last thing you're probably gonna want to avoid is polka dots. I think polka dots were a really big trend this summer. I think with the exception maybe of like a brown polka dot dress. It's like a brown base with white polka dots, maybe. But like in general, I feel like polka dots is very much like spring summer vibe, and I think you should definitely avoid that and just like wait until next year. See if polka dots are still a trend. If they're not, then you should be glad you didn't buy it, because then you just save money by not buying it. So I'm so excited to start getting more into fall. I love summer. I am a summer gal through and through, but I do have 2 very special bags coming in for fall that I'm really excited to share with you guys. So keep an eye out for that, but I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll leave another video for you here, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!